friends, welcome to my craft room. This is my craft room I use for several different purposes. So I have my craft room space here. This is my mostly my I have some quilting supplies over here and some books up here in this area. And then the rest of it is pretty much all my cross stitching supplies and organization in this area right here. And Carlene and I have similar organization for our floss. We both have these cabinets for our anchor floss and little tubs for other specialty fibers. I have all my patterns in my file cabinets. And then here I have more specialty fibers, some little buttons and charms in some of them. So that's this space. And then in this area, over here, this is my day bed for like if I have company. So this is my space for that. And then I also use my craft room office area for my teaching space. So this is my teaching space that I have when I'm doing my online tutoring. So I have everything set up for that also. So is there anything else that I should point out, Kylie?
Let's talk a little bit about how you organize in your charts.
Oh, okay. My charts are in file folders, and they're organized by designer, and then they're in alphabetical order in my file cabinet, which I really need to go through them. Carlene and I are going to do that one day. We're going to go through our charts.
It's time again to de-stash again.
Yes. So anyway,
and then
this area, I forgot to mention this. This is where I have my fabric for when I do quilting, which I have not been doing very much of lately, but I do have fabric here that I can use for that.
And then your whips, your whip storage, that's what's down here in these containers?
This is my whips here. And then also down here in this tub is my fabric.
We have a shared fabric stash, but Marlene has some here on hand.
Not a lot of the higher count, the smaller fabric. I have mostly like 28 and 32 count there.
Okay.
And then I also I don't know if you want to show them this little messy corner is where I have all my projects for like my
I hope I'm not making samplers. You guys dizzy.
My samplers and I have all these bags lined up for all the projects that I pick from each month.
Like your gardens, your mirabilias. So she keeps that just back in that corner.
And then I added my bags once we did the stitch to finish projects. I added those here. So.
Another bag.
Yeah, so I have several bags there. So, but that's where I come to when I'm ready to pick my projects for the month.
And let me just show you Honey, because she's here to say hello. Hi, Honey. Oh, you said a tiny meow. Say hello.
She is even saying hello.
Oh my, and she's very happy. Her tail is wagging. She's a beautiful kitty. So that's Marlene. So as you can see, it's not a big space. It's a nice size room. But she, so you don't have to think that you have to have just one space. It's kind of easy to partition it off. And she's got her cutting board there for cutting fabric. And then her storage. She's got nice light. She has a comfy chair in here. And a lamp. So that's Marlene's craft space.
Thanks for joining us. Okay. Hi, friends. Welcome to my craft room. This is just going to be a really quick tour.
when my husband and I had our house built, we planned specifically that I would have a space for all my crafting stuff. So I just recently rearranged this spring. So when I rearranged, I moved this set of shelves to kind of make a divider so that we'd have a little seating area here. So back here is my whips. They're in this, in project bags here, and then also in this storage tub. And eventually I want to move that into the closet. In the closet, I have all of my fabric, and then I have some specialty flosses, some silks, beads, buttons, my Kylie braid, and that too, as I keep organizing, that's going to get moved around a little bit. And then there's shelves back in here too, and that's where I have like my ribbon, my paint, all that kind of stuff is back in there. In that part. And then down on this bottom, these are quilting projects that I have in process.
Let me show them in the very back.
Okay.
So this is where she has her ribbon and those kinds of things. Tissue paper, wrapping paper. She keeps that all there in the very back.
And then,
Hope I'm not making you dizzy.
and then this shelf here is eventually it's going to have all of my flosses. So like my classic colors are already organized, and they're just in like a little envelope labeled. And Marlene is doing hers the same way. So we just have them in an envelope with the name of the floss. And that way, when we come to start a project, we can just come here and check quickly and easily to see if we've got it or if it's something we need to order. So I'll have Weeks Dye Works, sampler threads, my DMC floss will all be organized like that. And then I'll probably have a few empty spaces. So that's where some of that stuff from the closet will come out here. Then in this area of my craft room, this is where I do my work. So this is the working space. So starting over here on this side, on the shelves, this is all the fabric, and it's organized by count.
The cross-stitch fabric.
The cross-stitch fabric is organized by count. And then I have some quilting books, just a few things like that here. The anchor floss. Marlene and I both got these drawers when Nancy Waller of Faithworks, when she closed her brick and mortar shop, she had these and we bought them from her. So that we use, to store all of our anchor floss. Then I have my file cabinets with my cross-stitch charts, extra file folders for filing charts, and they're just like Marlene's. They're in alphabetical order by designer. And a few like by topic, but most of them by designer. And then over here, I have my little ironing station. And then if I'm ironing like for Flosstube and we have a bunch of projects, then I set my ironing board up right here. It works really nice because this stretches and everything is there. Underneath, I have frames that we've collected over the years. And then all of my other finishing things like the fiber fill, the warm and natural, my crushed walnuts for stuffing pillows. And then this is my fabric cutting space. I have some things stacked up because I'm going to be making a project bag. And then in these little organizers right here, I have the tools that I use. Like my double-sided tape gun, magnets, extra magnets, my floss cord winder, and the interfacing, wonder under.
Do you keep your rotary cutter in there too?
Yeah, my rotary cutter actually is up here on the
Okay.
wall. And then this space is my messy board. So this is where if I have painting to do, or if I'm cutting mat board for a project,
or gluing, then this is the space that I use for that. That's why it's an ugly. It was an old board that I just recycled for use there. And then these drawers, these 2 drawers, have all of my finishing pieces, either projects that have come with finishing, so they're in the drawers waiting, or pieces we've picked up here and there that we can use for fully finishing a piece. The top drawer is all of our materials that we use when we're making floss drops.
I'm just going to take some,
So,
do a video of the things you have on your walls.
so that is my space.
It's very nice. I love the little seating area over here. It looks so cozy.
Yes, I would like to have a little table. If I can get rid of the storage tins for whips, then I would be able to do that.
It's a very nice space.
So, I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you have questions, let us know.
I want to do one more picture of the seating area because I think it's so cute. Okay.